Okay, so if I understand things correctly, I think you're at this point in the equation and you're trying to figure out how you get the answers of plus or minus root 3 and 1/2. So hopefully this will be helpful. Hopefully. So we can look and we see through here that if we're looking at, we've got a 4 and a 2 and a 12 and a 6, one of the easiest things we can do is just right away divide everything, the whole entire stinking equation, by 2. So if we do that, we've got 4 divided by 2, we get 2. We've got 2 divided by 2, we just get a 1. 12 divided by 2, we get a 6. And then 6 divided by 2, we get a 3. So the next thing, if we're looking, and if there's 4 terms, a lot of times with these problems, you can take a look at the first 2 terms, and you can take a look at the last 2 terms. And if you take a look at these 2 terms here, you can see you can pull an x squared out of both of these. You can factor out an x squared there and there. And you can also, for these 2 terms, you can factor out a 2, or excuse me, if you can factor out a 3, and in fact, we're going to divide them both by -3. So let's see what we get when we do that. All right, so we've done that. Now let's see what we get here. So if we pull out an x squared out of here, you're left with 2x. You can check it back, right? 2x times x squared gives you 2x cubed. If you divide this by x squared, well, x squared divided by x squared just leaves you with the 1, but it is a -1 right there. And then over here, we're factoring out a -3. And we're factoring out a -3 because we're trying to get it to look like this term right here. If we factored out a +3, it wouldn't quite work out as well. So it takes a little bit of trial and error to kind of see that, but that's what we're doing here. So if you take -6x, specifically just to focus on the -6, you take -6x divided by -3, you're left with 2, and the x is still hanging around there. And then if you take 3 and divide by -3, you get -1. So now the fun part here is that we see that there's a 2x minus 1 in this term here and a 2x minus 1 in this term over here. So we can pull that out of both. All right, so if we do that, we pull the 2x minus 1 out of both of these 2 terms. We have the 2x minus 1 out front, and you're left with an x squared here and a -3, which is right here. So now we've got 2 factors, so we can set them both individually equal to 0. Doing that, then we've got 2x minus 1, the first term, set equal to 0, and then over here we've got x squared minus 3 equals 0. So kind of shortcutting this a little bit, if we add 1 over to the other side and then we divide by 2, we're going to get x gets 1/2 over here. So again, just to recap that, we added 1 over to the other side, so we'd have 2x equals 1, and then we divide the 2 over, so we get x equals 1/2. Likewise, we're going to come over here and solve, so we get x squared, we add the 3 over to the other side, so we're going to get x squared equals 3. So now that we've got that, x squared equals 3, now that we're going to take the root on both sides, we've got to take the plus and minus root, the positive and the negative root, and that's going to give us x equals plus or minus square root of 3. So there you have it. There's your one answer over here, x equals 1/2, and over here, x equals plus or minus root of 3. Hope that was useful. This video had to be 3 minutes or under due to the software, so hope this helps.